Page 74.
Process and method of assembling computer. After buying computer devices in accordance with the desired results, then prepare the device's tools, place an assembly procedure before assembling computer to avoid mistakes that could result in device's damages and wasted time. Preparation before assembling computer. After selected all computer devices, the next step is to prepare the various parts to be used, starting from site preparation, such as place for placing the case and equipment on the table, lamps or torch for the room where the light is not enough, then prepare necessary tools as follows. Page 75. Number 1. Phillips head screwdriver, straight edge screwdriver for tightening knots. Number 2. Linesman pliers, long nose pliers for pinching knots. Number 3. Plastic strap for strapping wires and cables neatly. Number 4. Box for knots or jumper to prevent loss. The process of computer assembly. After prepare the site and tool, bring devices that will be used to check and keep it neat, not mixed together for ease of assembly. Assembly computer consists of devices as follows: main board, heat zinc, hard disk, VGA card, SATA, CPU, RAM, CD or DVD, sound card, case. After prepared devices and equipments, assemble and install of a computer by following these steps. Page 76. The process of installing the CPU. Number 1. Lift two side of CPU locking legs. Number 2. Life until CPU locking legs perpendicular to the main board. Number 3. Insert CPU between two locking legs. Notice groove of slots matching with CPU facing the front to port. Number 4. Use your thumb to gently press CPU until locking legs lock with CPU by hearing click sound. Number 5. Locate the CPU fan connector to plug CPU cooling fan. Number 6. Plug cooling fan cable located at the back of CPU into CPU fan. It cannot be plugged if inserted a wrong side. If it happened, turn it upside down and plug again. Number 7. Finish the installation of the CPU. Page 77. The process of installing RAM. Number 1. Locate slot to insert RAM on mainboard and prepare RAM ready. Number 2. Check which socket is the first socket by looking at text printed on the side of the socket. Number 3. Press RAM locking legs out on both sides. Number 4. Plug RAM into socket DIMM1. Note that notches of the RAM must match the groove of socket, otherwise it cannot be inserted. Number 5. Insert the RAM to match locking legs, then press down to the end. Note that RAM locking arm will be able to tilt back and lock the end of RAM on both sides. Number 6. Finish the installation of RAM. Page 78. The process of installing mainboard. Number 1. Remove the side plate from the case. Number 2. Place the mainboard on a plate, shifting the position of the mainboard knots to the holes of the plate, and mark those points. Number 3. Insert mainboard base to all points that have been marked. Number 4. Place mainboard on the base. Move the knot holes to the holes of the base, tighten all the knots. Number 5. Assemble plate into the case and mounting knots. Number 6. Finish the installation of the mainboard. Page 79. The process of installing the power cable. Power cable types. There are 3 kinds of power cable. Number 1. The power cable for floppy disk. Number 2. The power cable for the hard disk and CD-ROM. Number 3. The power cable for the main board. Locate power cable connector, then connect power supply cable to the terminal by turning a headlock to synchronize. It cannot be inserted if it is connected to the wrong side. Connecting signal cable. Precautions in connecting signal cable. Due to each signal cable has a terminal, so each cable must be connected to match the right terminal. If it connected to the wrong side, LED bulb will not work or switch is not working. If any bulb or switch does not work, change the side and plug it again. The instruction for connecting cable can be seen from mainboard installation manual. Page 80. The process of installing signal cable. Number 1. Select the Reset SW cable. Number 2. Plug Reset SW cable into the pin at Reset SW position by plugging orange cable side to Reset CON. Turn connector that has the letter Reset SW outside of the mainboard. Number 3. Select Power SW cable. Number 4. Plug Power SW into ATX power switch pin by plugging white cable side to PRW_SW. Turn connector that has the letter Power SW outside of the main board. Number 5. Select Power LED cable. Page 81. Number 6. Plug power LED cable into the pin at power LED position by plugging green cable to a plus 5V turn connector that has the letter power LED inside of the main board. Number 7. Select speaker cable. Number 8. Plug speaker cable into the pin at speaker position by plugging red cable side to a plus 5V turn connector that has the letter speaker inside of the main board. Number 9. Select HDD LED. Number 10. Plug HDD LED cable into the pin at IDE LED position by plugging red cable side to the positive electrode turn connector that has the letter IED LED outside of the main board. Number 11. Finish installing signal cable. Page 82. Installing hard disk. The process of installing hard disk drive. Number 1. Connect SATA cable to hard disk port. It cannot be connected if connected to the wrong side because the head of SATA cable has a notch matching with a hard drive. Number 2. Plug the power cable connector into the terminal of the hard disk. Number 3. Tighten knots on all 4 sides. Number 4. Connect the other end of hard disk cable to SATA controller connector on the main board. Number 5. Finish installing hard disk drive. Page 83. The process of installing CD-ROM drive. Number 1. Connect audio cable to analog audio channel and connect the other end with sound card. It cannot be connected if connected to the wrong side. Number 2. Connect IDE cable to CD-ROM port. Bring the side that has red stripe facing the power cable connector. It cannot be connected if connected to the wrong side, because IDE cable connectors has ridge in the middle, which corresponds to the grooves of hard disk. Number 3. Select the CD-ROM and open front cover. Number 4. Insert the CD-ROM into the slot. Number 5. Tighten knots on all 4 sides. Number 6. Plug the connector of the power cable to CD-ROM terminal by bring side with the curved corners to the top, which matches the curvature of the power connector of the hard disk. Number 7. Connect one side of CD-ROM signal cable to IDE controller connector on the main board. Number 8. Finish installing CD-ROM. Page 84. Installing cards. Cards used in the installation include video card and sound card. It consists of a PCI and PCI Express card. After finished installing cards, that would complete installing process of computer internal devices. The process of installing the video card. Number 1. Insert the video card into a PCI Express slot and gently press down. Number 2. Use a knot to hold video card to the case. Number 3. Finish installing the video card. Sound card installation. Number 1. Insert the sound card into a PCI slot or PCI Express, depending on the sound card interface type, then gently press down. Number 2. Use a knot to hold sound card to the case. Number 3. Finish installing the sound card. Page 85. Computer external devices installation. When finished installing devices inside the computer, the next step is to install various connectors to computer port. The process of installed power cables and signal cables. Number 1. Plug monitor power cable into a port at the back of display card. Number 2. Rotate the knots to hold 2 sides. Number 3. Plug monitor power cable into the socket at the back of the monitor. Number 4. Plug the other side of the monitor power cable into power supply. Cannot be used if plugged into the wrong socket. Number 5. Plug power cable into the power supply which located at the back of the case, and connect the other end of the house electricity socket. The power cable side that is connected to the house electricity socket will be plugged after finished installing other cables. Page 86. Mouse and keyboard connection. The process of installing mouse and keyboard cables. Number 1. Plug keyboard cable into PS2 keyboard port by turning the square side to the right-hand side. Keyboard port is similar to the mouse port. It can be differentiated from their colors, but be careful to plug into wrong channel, which cause keyboard will not work. Number 2. Plug mouse cable into PS2 mouse port, which is located next to the keyboard port from the inside. Number 3. If the keyboard and mouse have USB port, plug them into USB port at the front or bottom of the case. Page 87. Speakers connection. The process of installing speakers. Plug speaker jack into sound card connector. Usually speaker connector has a printed text such as SPK or sound card of some brands may use speaker symbol or green color. Assembling computers and buying devices have to consider usability to use efficienciness of devices to suit the job and worth the investment. A method of assembling computer does not have complicated process if there is a good preparation including experience in assembly computers.